This is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Friday the 26th of February. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the dollar. Bearish start to the day here. Going to need to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 48,700 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 56.51. Going to need to see support from the broader market to break out through to 50,000 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 51,000 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see 55,000 levels come into play before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 54,139. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the 23.6% fib at 45,501 and the first major support level at 45,212 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer well clear of the second major support level at 43,261. Looking at the MACD, widening of the bearish histograms after yesterday's bearish cross supporting the early pullback. On the EMAs, also bearish signals, the 50s pulling back from the 100 and the 200, with the 100 also pulling back from the 200, signaling further downside ahead. So failure to move through the pivot at 48,700 would bring support levels into play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, also bearish this morning. Going to need to see Ethereum move through the pivot at 1538 to support a run through the 23.6% fib at 1579. That would then bring the first major resistance level at 1617 into play. Barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 1672.49 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ethereum test resistance at 1800 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1752. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 1403 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid the second major support level at 1324. Looking at the MACD, we've got a widening of the bearish histograms after yesterday's bearish cross, supporting this early pullback. On the EMA, the 50s pulled back further from the 100 and the 200, with the 100 also pulling back from the 200. That's also bearish for the morning. So key through the early part of the day would be to move through the pivot and then target the 23.6% fib. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, also bearish this morning. Going to need to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 186.63 to bring the 23.6% fib at 195 and the first major support level at 198.04 into play. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 190 levels, however. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 205.2 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended crypto rally, resistance at 220 would likely come into play before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 216.62. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 168.05 into play. Barring an extended crypto sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer clear of the second major support level at 156.64. The 38.2% fib at 163 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, a widening of the bearish histograms after yesterday's bearish cross, providing this downside on the day. On the EMA, the 50s also pull back from the 100 and the 200, which is also a bearish signal. So failure to move through the pivot at 186.63 would leave support levels in play on the day. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, particularly bearish start to the day. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 0.4476 to take a run at the 38.2% fib at 0.4632 and the first major resistance level at 0.47. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.45 levels, however. Barring extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level will cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, Ripple's XRP could test resistance at 0.50 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.5043. Failure to move through the pivot would leave the first major support level at 0.4133 in play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub-0.4s and the second major support level at 0.3909. In the event of an extended sell-off, you've got the 62% fib at 0.3521. That could come into play. Looking at the MACD, widening of the bearish histograms after yesterday's late bearish cross. On the EMAs, 50s also pulled back from the 100 and the 200, also giving a bearish signal. So failure to move through the pivot at 0.4476 would leave support levels and sub 40s in play on the day.